I am your host, L.ove Y.ou F.irst, the voice coach, professional speaker, certified life coach, and Amazon bestselling author. And this is Speak Easy. Yes, Speak Easy podcast, where we talk about the behind the scenes of what it is to be a speaker or an author. And guys, listen, sometimes we just need that hand up, not a handout. That's what we're talking about today as I bring on our guest, Miss Sophia Johnson. How are you, Sophia?
I'm good. How about you? I'm excited.
And so, it's interesting because let's be honest, we're in a society where a lot of people are looking for the handout. And we've kind of gotten comfortable in the handout, so much so that we look at the people that are doing the handouts or the hand ups in a different light. And I think we don't really give them the degree of respect. We don't give them the degree of, of love and appreciation that they really deserve when it comes to helping those in need. Let's just be honest. Everybody needs help at some time.
Yes, Lord.
Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Everybody needs help at some time. And when we start looking at it as always being a hand out instead of a hand up, there's two different things that we're doing. I believe that we are literally setting ourselves up to look at the person that is giving the hand up in a negative light sometimes, as well as the person that is taking the hand up in a negative light sometimes. So before we get started, I want to say, yes, Sophia, tell everyone a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get more into the topic for today.
Okay, well, I am when you say Southern small town country girl, that's me. I'm from Evergreen, Alabama. I'm a mother, a wife, author, mentor, Jesus coach. I do all kind of different things. I started writing when I was in the second grade. My granddaddy told me I was going to be an author. I was like, nope, I want to be a teacher. But teachers, of course, write books too. I didn't know that then, but hey, I just was like, I'll be a teacher. And then I started writing poetry, and I got heavy into the poetry when my mom passed away when I was 12. And so ever since then, I've just been on it. And I started writing my first book back in September 2006. And I woke up one morning and I heard write a book. I was like, what? And then look, about 30 minutes to an hour later, I had already written like 30 pages. And it was like from that point on, it just got a life of its own. And even with writing the book, I said, I'm just going to write this one and then I'm just going to leave it alone. And then people read the first one and was like, you can't end it like this. You got to give us another one. So then came 2 more books. So I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine. I'll do that. And so that's what I've been doing. And I'm actually working on my 5th book now called Secret Service Detour at the V. And I'll let y'all figure out what that means.
Right? And so it was interesting because as I was reading your bio, I was looking at, the things that you've been talking about in helping women and helping people just in general. And a lot of times, again, when we look at those who are in the service industry, listen, let's be honest, they get frustrated, they get tired, they go through a lot. And I think we literally start to look at them and we lessen the what it is that they're offering. Like we forget that they're doing 10 and 12 and 13 and 18 hour days and things of that nature. And we kind of, we don't appreciate them enough. And so, on this journey, have you found that there have been those times where you've had some that appreciated above and beyond what you've done, as opposed to some who have been like, you get paid for it?
Yeah. Oh my God. When I say I have wanted to quit over and over and over again, because you get burnt out and then you feel like, okay, I'm doing this, and you pour your heart out into your work and everything that you do, and then you don't get a response, and you're like, what's going on? Or you'll get a response and people will be like, oh, I love that. But then when it comes times to like support or to be there for you, they vanish. I'm like, where you at?
Casper
Where are you?
everywhere.
Yes.
Casper is everywhere. You just kind of
Yes.
turn around like, what is going on? And so in
Yeah.
the journey, you guys know that we talk about the behind the scenes of being the author, the behind the scenes of being a speaker. And listen, we can't talk about the business side of it without talking about the business side of it. There are a lot of authors and speakers who still have full-time jobs. And
Yes.
to think that you have a full-time job, especially one where you're taking care of people, a lot of times it's like, okay, you're going from taking care of somebody. It could be someone that's a nurse. It could be a teacher. It could be any number of, occupations. And then on all of that, you're still trying to go and build this business. And so what have you seen as a hindrance in trying to make that transition?
Oh Lord, it's almost, I'll say for me, it's just everything, because I even take the work home, and then people forget. And like they'll say, well, I need this done at this time, but then I'll be like, well, I can't do that until later because I do work 8:30 to 5:30. So they'll be like, well, I'll get somebody else, and I'm like, okay, then like they'll just push me to the side because I have a full-time job. But I'm like, in order for me to start working in this other thing full time, I need you to continue to be a customer. I need you to continue to buy from me, buy, the brand and everything, or else I won't be able to do that full time. And then you really won't be able to get me because I'm working 8 hours a day. And then when I get home, I'm helping with the kids, and then I'm talking to my husband. We're spending time together. And then when everybody go to sleep, that's when I'm working. Like I was up till 4 o'clock this morning. I got like 2.5 hours of sleep because I ended like around 12 o'clock, I was like, I'm gonna go to bed. And then all of these chapters started coming to my head for my next book, and I just had to start typing. And it was 4 o'clock when I finally like lay down. So I was like, people don't understand that you put a lot of work into what you do. So when we're coming and we're asking for support, or we're asking, not even just share, you don't have to actually buy anything, just share. We ask for that, and they're looking at you like, you already got a job, you're making a lot of money. And that's not always the case, because we still have to keep working at it, keep working. So it really drives me crazy sometimes when people are like, well, you need to be doing that full time, but I can't, because every time I tell you I can't do it till later, you go to someone else. So that's the issue that I have, is like a lot of people don't realize that I still have another job. And once I'm able to have that one as a full time, I'll be able to do it whenever they want me to.
Yeah, I think that's a major one. Even when I was working my full-time job, that transition was really hard. Taking the time off to go and do events and, MC and speak, you know, getting an idea and trying to find a pen and paper to write it down really quickly, and you're like flowing, but then you're trying to do other stuff, and like things are coming to your mind, especially as a writer. Because let's be honest, when we get ideas, it's never like the perfect time when you're sitting down at a desk with pen and paper.
Exactly. Like, girl, let me show you something. This is on my laptop. These are these these are I have even written on napkins and receipts out of my purse.
Exactly. That journey, it all covers that, y'all. This is the real. Y'all know, listen, I know people think you're like, oh my goodness, and then get a journal and I write it all in there and then I send it to the publisher. No, it doesn't work that way.
Not at all.
It doesn't work that way.
Now, my first book, I was out on maternity leave when I started it. And then I sort of kind of had like a writer's block, and it was 7 years. It was 7 years before I picked it up again. But then I got into the position where I am now, where I was able to I'm the only one that I work for a doctor's office. I'm contracted to them. So I was able to, like, in between patients, I was able to type up stuff really quick. And I finished it within 3 to 4 months. It was like the perfect timing to finish it. It was like I was sent to that particular office at that time so that I could finish my first book.
Oh my goodness.
So
Yes. I
yeah.
love it. I love it's so funny. I think about, and those of you that have been following for some time, you guys know my exit strategy. I was like, I had my date. Once I really said this was it, I'm done. Okay, I can't handle y'all no more. I need to be doing this full time. I said, all right. I started piecing some things together and how I was going to get it done. And literally I was on my lunch break. I was writing and typing. I was taking time off to be able to, go and do these events and scheduling my vacation time to be able to do what I needed to do. And listen, we put in the extra hours when you're still working a job. Like it's not, I don't want people to think that the process is, oh, I'm working a full-time job and then this is my hobby or this is my part-time job. No, this is my full-time job, even when I have a full-time job. And Sophia just told you guys, 4 o'clock in the morning typing, yeah, that's real. And I'm an early bird. So I'm getting up at like 4:30, getting stuff done, doing stuff for myself. So that way I have time allotted to do stuff for engagement and do stuff for my clients. And but 4:30 in the morning, I got to get up and do my stuff. I have to look at it that way. And I think that's the big thing that people don't talk about before they start writing or start wanting to become the full-time professional speaker. They're like, yes, I want to go and speak. And okay, if you do one event a month, unless you're getting paid a good amount for that one event a month, you're going to have to do some other things.
Yes. Exactly. Oh my God. And then while I'm up and everybody's asleep, I'm cooking dinner for like the next day and like get my husband together, trying to make sure, okay, did I do this? Do the kids got something? Do I need? So it's like your brain it never stops. Like I can't lay down sometimes because there's ideas and I'm like, crap. So I grab my phone and I start talking into the phone and my husband think I'm talking him asleep, but I'm really, I'm really typing up something on my phone so that when I wake up the next morning, I could just email it to myself and transfer it to a Word document so that I can put it in the book. It'd be really crazy. It's really crazy.
And so you got to understand that people in many industries, you may go into your doctor's office and literally the person behind the counter is somebody who's working on a book, who's working as an entrepreneur, who's somebody who's doing something. And this is literally it. So sometimes when you're coming in and you're already frustrated and you're like snapping and spazzing out at them, guys, you forget that this is only one part of their life. And you don't even know if this is the full-time or the part-time of their life. Like, you don't understand what else may be going on. And so I think a lot of times we have to go back to extending that grace to people. And, I titled this, the hand up, not just the hand out, but the hand up, because I feel as though grace is a big piece of it. When we're trying to work our full-time job and we're running our business as well, there's a grace that needs to be extended to people. Now, let's be real. Y'all know I'm transparent. Grace only goes so far.
Oh, yes, God.
She got a wall that she can't go past, y'all, sometimes. So we got to understand when we're talking about extending that grace to people, especially when they're on this entrepreneur journey, what does that look like? What does that mean? So thinking about that for your journey, Sophia, when you think about the people that are around you, your family, your friends, or even people that come in contact with you at your job, what would that grace look like for you?
Girl, I just have to smile and I ask God, like, okay, God, I'm a little tired. Help me to not be different than what I am on a normal basis, especially when I haven't gotten any sleep. So I will, and then, but you know something that's funny? It'll be a patient that'll come in and they'll notice that I look a little tired or something. And they'll start talking to me, and it's like, okay, God, you answer that, thank you. And it'll be the first patient, and they'll be like, how you doing today, girl? You doing good? And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing. And then we'll start talking about stuff, and I'm like, okay. He answered that prayer really quick, because I never want to be rude to a patient or to anybody that I work with. I might have those days where I just joke around, and a lot of them know that I'm one of those chicks where they'll be like, can you go do this? I'll be like, no. But they know I'm going to get up like 10 seconds later and go do it. But so I just never want to. I've always had a happy spirit about myself. That's what I feel. And a lot of people tell me that I do have that. And so I just try to continue to be who I am and not just let the fact that I'm tired or anything else cause me to be rude or unkind or not talk to somebody when they say something to me. I try to just keep my spiritual journey going as I go along. I mean, I might be quiet sometimes and not say anything, but that's because I got a lot on my mind. And I have this, God has gifted me with visions and stuff like that. So sometimes I'm trying to just put myself in a quiet place so that I can listen.
And that says a lot too. So that's a big piece right there, is sometimes I need my space.
Yep.
Sometimes I just need to be in my bubble. And for me, I'm an introvert. So I get my strength from being in my bubble. I get my strength from just sitting down on a couch and reading or listening to a podcast. I get my strength from just being there. That's me. And sometimes I need that. So one of the things that I had to do for me, and those that I have come in contact with have extended that grace to me, is that when I do events, I need a timeout moment. I need timeout. I need nap time or timeout. I need something.
Yes.
So I can just go and get it all together, and then I can
exactly
with the energy that is necessary, especially if I'm emceeing, because I'm all over the place. I'm like a big kid. I'm like a big kid. So you got to understand that sometimes that grace is a smile. Sometimes that grace, that hand up, is a smile to somebody. She just told you, Sophia just said it, asking somebody, hey, how's your day going? If you see that they look like there's a lot going on, asking them, how's their day going? What's going on with you? Mm-hmm. Now, listen, we can't go out giving hugs these days because they arrest you for stuff like that. It's illegal, and I don't need nobody coming back to the Speakeasy podcast talk about what you said.
Exactly.
You said give them a hug. No, I ain't say all that, because I'm not bailing you out of jail. So, but what I will say is that we need to get back to, knowing that people are people.
Yep.
People are people. And that grace, when I think about, deadlines, when I think about extending deadlines and having to reschedule things, I've had to reschedule things. I've had situations happen. Listen, I've been on a podcast where they forgot to hit the record button. And I was like, well, can we do it again to such and such day? Sure. It happened. You extend that grace, guys.
Yes.
I've been there where literally the system didn't work, or the sounds were going. I mean, all types. Listen, I've been live and literally had my kids set off the smoke alarm. Like you would have thought they was trying to burn down the house. But the reality is that's life. You enjoy that. And I know Michael is in the comments cracking up right now, because that is one of the funniest episodes he has ever seen. He was cracking up laughing. But that's what it is, guys. It's real life. And when we understand that people are people and they're living real life, then we'll extend that hand up that's necessary sometimes. We do. We have to get back into that. And again, it's that process. And so let me see. Look, Michael, and I told you, he said, I love the alarms. I love fire alarms. So thank you guys for those who have been joining us in the comments. I see a lot of you that have come in. Thank you for sharing out the broadcast. Guys, you guys know that this is the Speakeasy podcast, and we always talk about the behind the scenes of what it is to be that author, that speaker, the things that people don't normally talk about. And when we're in the beginning stages of this, listen, sometimes we miss deadlines. Sometimes we're cranky because we don't have enough sleep. Sometimes we just
say it, Lord.
Another one, I found that sometimes people are struggling because they don't really have support. And it comes out in frustration. It comes out when they're lashing out and they're snapping. And you're like trying to figure out what is going on. And sometimes it's just because they're at a breaking point because they don't have any help.
Yeah.
Have you seen that as well?
Ooh, yes. And it's crazy because when I started out, so like I said, I write books, I do poetry, but I also do like shirts and different stuff like that. And you would, and I've told people, you would think that your family would be your biggest supporters, when in actuality, that's not the case. Now, my husband and my kids, they get me because, like, my daughters come back, they're like, Mama, you need us to help do anything? Like, they love that. And my husband, he's like, you need a new machine, you need it. Like, he'll ask me questions about what I need. Like, okay, for instance, I told him I needed a better camera for my laptop. He went and got me one. Okay, see, support. And, like, I appreciate that because he knows I'll talk about it and he'll go get it, or he'll be like, well, what you need in order for you to get that stuff. So family not always going to be your biggest supporter. It might be your best friend and her family, or it might be a stranger that'll support you. So I've noticed that you can't just say because we're blood that we're going to support you. That's not the case. But when you do get those supporters, I'm telling you, they will support you from beginning to end. I mean, no matter what you do, you could be selling a stick of bubble gum and they gonna support you. I have a friend, since my first book came out, she has supported me. So every time a book come out, she gets the book. Or my other friend, whenever she wants to get shirts for like baseball season or whatever, her son, she supports. Like, even if she just like, I'll send you a couple of dollars. I can't get the full thing right now, but I'll send you. So that support is really helpful because that lets you know, okay, I'm doing this and people are actually paying attention and they're actually seeing that, okay, she puts a lot of work into this. Not only does she put the work into it, but she works all day and then she go home and put the work into it. And I appreciate those people. I'm gonna call out a couple people real quick. Christina McAlpine and Hyacinth Turks, like they really, them them and then Kiana Lee, like these people have really like been there from day one. And Teresa McMillan, that I ain't gonna call no more because people might get mad. But hey, like I'm just saying, these are like some of the same people that have like been there. And even my sister-in-law Condra, like she edited 2 of my books for me, and like that right there, that was a support. Like I appreciated all of the help and all of the stuff that I get from people. And like sometimes I'll go and ask somebody about something and ask for help, and a lot of people don't want to help you. Like it's almost like they feel like you're going to try to compete with them. And I'm one of those people that like, I don't want to compete with you. Actually, I would like to collab. And some people don't want to collaborate with you. They feel like, oh, she's going to take my following, she's going to do this. But you may be teaching on one thing and I'm going to teach on something else, and we might both have a different approach, and they might still come to both of us because you might be there for them emotionally and I might be there for them like it's 2 different things. So I guess people, it's really crazy, but support is really needed, because if you don't have the support, you get burnt out and then you quit, and then you're no longer doing your purpose. You're no longer in your calling, and you're wondering why things not going right. Oh, you stepped out of your purpose. You just out there doing it all willy-nilly, and the covering is gone. As my pastor say, the covering has already went over there across the street and you still standing in the same spot. So I just feel like support is really needed. You have to support people. And I mean, in the beginning, yeah, they might be doing stuff that looks real crazy, like, oh, I don't think I would, but they needed just a little push, even just to give them $1 and be like, hey, maybe you can get you a drink or something so you won't get dehydrated while you're sitting there trying to work on this and that. So it's little stuff like that. So I'm sorry, I might be
Oh
repeating
no,
stuff
you're
over and
doing
over
great.
again.
Well, it's interesting you would say that, because it's those moments where we think outside the box, where we're not really thinking of, I have to buy every book, or I have to, be at every event. I have to, invest this. It's just the smaller things. It's okay, can we network and collaborate? It's, hey, can I send you a donation? Hey, I see that you published a book. Can I gift a couple copies of the book? And then you give them out when you need to. There's things that you can do to support, and it's not always a hand out. Sometimes it's the hand up that's necessary. I know a major thing that happens, that I saw, that is, I appreciate it, I love it so much, is that a lot of times in the communities that I'm a part of, when one person publishes a book, those in the community step up and we collaborate, and we come together and say, hey, I'm going to gift 10 copies of your book. I'm going to gift 5 copies of your book. And it makes a big difference, for that person, because it's like, wow, you get to see the people that are around you, some that are doing similar things, some that are doing different things, that are really understanding what it is you're going through. Like, they understand that when we get to the day, launch day, y'all, I know it looked pretty. When we do that,
it's ugly behind the scenes.
It's ugly behind the scenes, baby. It's ugly behind the scenes.
Yes.
I told myself, I said, okay, I was going to do a book signing, and I was like, I'm not going to do that. we're just going to move forward. But behind the scenes of launch day, it's ugly. And if we could have somebody that will say, hey, I got a location, we can do it here. Hey, I'll take care of the food. Hey, I'll take care of, setting it up and everything. Hey, I'll take care of your list. Just make sure I have it so that way I can mark people off as they get there. When you have people that's doing all those things, the other stuff that we're paying attention to, like watching Amazon to see if our book is number 1 and things of that nature, those things that people don't show you, because let's be real, I just knew when I wrote the first book that when you made it to like Amazon bestselling author, that you would like get an email or like a plaque or like a certificate or something. No. They don't even tell you. You gotta watch out on your own. I was sitting here like, so when's somebody gonna tell me if I got an Amazon best-selling author? They said you gotta go check. Check what? Listen, y'all, I tell y'all this because I'm telling you the real. You guys know I'm very transparent. When it comes to writing the book and you doing launch day, when I tell you, it is a headache on that day because you're trying to pay attention to what's going on over here. If your book is on multiple platforms, you're checking each of the platforms to see where your book is.
Yeah.
That's the day that sometimes you need to just come give us a hug.
Exactly, Lord.
And so with launching your first book, were there any blunders that you came in contact with? So anything that you was like, I can't believe that I did that.
Yes. First of all, my cover was horrible. And so, but I didn't know, but I had this thought in my head because of what was in the book. And so I got that. And then some people was like, well, maybe you need to change the way the book look. Now, even though I sold a whole bunch of copies with the original cover, somebody was like, you need to change the cover so it could be more appealing to people. And so when I changed it, I sold even more. But launching it and like the marketing behind it and all that, I did all this. Okay, first of all, the first book signing, I did it in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That is 3 hours and a couple of minutes away from where I live now, which is in Mobile. I get up there. I'm ready. 5 people show up. Okay. So now I'm looking like, this is just gonna take care of the gas to get back. like I can't even order no more books. With like I can order some books, but I mean the shipping is gonna take the majority of that. And where are the people? And so I was like, okay. So then I did it at home, which is in Evergreen, Alabama. Of course, I said that earlier, but I did one there and I did it at the library. And again, a handful of people, I'll say about 10 of my friends and stuff came in, 2 of my about 3 or 4 of my family members. And I felt okay about that because that's only an hour from Mobile. And then, you know, we didn't have to pay for no room or nothing. Now we had to pay for a room until schools, but anyway. But in Evergreen, we stayed at my mother-in-law house. And so I was like, what am I doing wrong? I was like, I've been marketing for months. Like, I was like, do I just need to market 2 days before or something? But that right there was one of the things where I felt like I said, I'll never do it. And even with my last book, no, I didn't do it for the last one. I did it for my second book. And I paid this money for a building. I have been marketing and I've been pushing. I've been like emailing and doing all this stuff. And I spent this money and I bought this stuff. And I had 2 girls that 2 high school students volunteer to come and help, you know, with whatever I needed. And with support, it's like you put it out there and then you're expecting people to come and nothing happens. And so that right there was sort of kind of like, what is going on? Like that right, those are the things. So I said, I'll never have another book signing, not where I got to pay.
And that's it. You know, we get into this mindset that we think, when we think about the book signing, we're thinking it has to be in a place, has to be all pretty, has to be this and then we're like, we put out all this extra money for different things, and then it's like crickets. Where is everybody? What is going on? And so I can definitely understand that when I tell people the same thing happens when you go and you sign up to be a book vendor and you didn't research who like the audience is, and you get there and it's like not that many people and you don't sell any books. You kind of put out this money because you're excited and you want the book to sell and you want people to, you know, come and purchase it. And then you get there and it's just like, well, where's the people? What's going on? And, you know, I found that that's where that networking and that collaboration that comes together. There are some amazing authors that I'm watching, you know, and they're bringing whole communities of authors together. And I'm like, yes, I love that. And then I still see some other ones that I'm like, you ain't got it. you still out there in the boat, huh? You just gonna go ahead and just lay in the boat. You ain't gonna try to use the oar or nothing. You just gonna lay in the boat. All right. Okay. At some point, you're going to learn to use the oar, and then you're going to come back over to the land, baby. Come back to the land. But it's a part of that process. But again, that's not a part of the process that people talk about.
No. And it's painful because, you know, like I said, you put all that work into it, you put all that money into it, and you order all these books and you're like, okay, and people are saying, oh my God, I can't wait to get that copy, I can't wait. And then the day come and you're like, where's the I can't waits? Because clearly
they can wait. Clearly they are waiting. Where exactly are they waiting? Because I would like to be there for them.
Exactly. Let me wait with you. Let's go out there and wait together. Come
exactly. On. Can we wait together? Is we at a bus stop? Just let me know what corner is at, so that way I don't go to the wrong corner, because we don't want to go to the wrong corner. Let me know what corner is at, so I go to the right corner, and I'll be over there for 1 minute. And you know, it's you said a major thing, and I think we've shifted as a community, when it comes to the author community, has shifted, because with us having such availability, being able to publish our own books, like with Create Space and other things, it makes it so easy for us. But we forget that even before that, and even still, there are some companies and some publishers that are out there that still make the author purchase a large quantity of books to sell. And you do these events, and then you have this large quantity of books to sell, and nobody's buying it. So you got 500 books sitting in your garage. To do what?
Collect dust.
That part. And so I've found that I love being able to have print on demand. I think that's been one of the most amazing options for us as authors, is the print on demand, because I don't have to have 9,000 books. Now, I think it has made us lazy in a little bit. Y'all know I'm transparent. I'm sorry. Ouch. I apologize. That was a brick. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I think it has made us lazy a little bit, because on the opposite end of that, there are a lot of authors that won't push their book as hard because they don't have ones to get rid of. They don't have that big supply that they're trying to get rid of. So I fell into that category. And I had somebody say to me, oh my goodness, you should always have like 2 books on you in case you're going to sell books. And I was like, yeah, 2 books. I'm like, yeah. All right. And then I've come in contact with people that wanted the book, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh. So I learned that lesson. Now you guys know that y'all know that secret sauce, because I learned that lesson.
Yes, Lord. Oh, that's a lot.
So I definitely appreciate you for coming on today. Tell everybody how they can get your books, as well as how they can get in contact with you on social media.
Okay, so I have several different pages, but we're going to stick with the author one. So you can get with me on Facebook, Author Infinity, and Infinity is spelled ENFENATI. And if you're on Facebook, you can go at Infinity, and it'll take you straight to the author page. If you would like to purchase books, you can go to bit.ly/. Why are you laughing at me? Infinity. So that's where you can purchase the book. It'll take you directly to the store to purchase the books. And I also have a website. So if you would like to connect with me or subscribe on the website to get you a couple of little freebies, because I have a chapter of my first book that will be sent out to you like a day or 2 after you subscribe. And so you can go to bit.ly/connect, then the number 2, and then infinity, which is, again, it's ENFENTI. And I'm also, if you're in the comments, I'm going to put a link in there for you to get. I also speak on forgiveness, because I was telling you I help with like women and mentor women and speak and stuff like that. And forgiveness has been one of the biggest things that I've been dealing with over the last couple of months. And I'm not going to tell everything, but if you're in the comments or if you see this, I'm going to put the link in there so that you can go in there, and you'll have to put your email in, of course, and then it will open up so that you can get that information about the 3 keys of forgiveness.
I was sitting over here smiling because I said all the pros got either Linktree or Bitly links. We know how to hand out links. We can give you a link quick. We can give you a link. So guys, those of you that are speakers and authors, you have an opportunity to be a guest on the podcast by simply going to bit.ly/Speakeasy Podcast, all lowercase. That is how you can get onto the platform. Listen, guys, we're already scheduling interviews for March. So you definitely want to jump on that as soon as possible. It's bit.ly/Speakeasy Podcast. Some great things are coming down the pipeline in March, so you'll hear some updates coming, and we'll be sprinkling those out throughout the month of February. Oh my goodness. I loved having you on today, Sophia. We had a great conversation, and they were talking and chatting it up in the comments as well. So guys, if you're catching this via replay, don't forget your shares, invites, your reactions, they still matter. If you're catching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button so that way you can catch the future interviews that we post on the regular. Until next time, don't forget to press it out.